to another webisode. Thanks for stopping by. I've been doing a lot of work off camera to the IS here. Got a harness bar in, got the harnesses in. I had to tap a bunch of holes and everything to get this to fit properly at the angle that I want it to be, and far back as I want it to sit so that the harnesses are at the proper angle. Got this bride seat off of Marketplace. I actually got a pair of them over there. Really good deal, 600 bucks for 2 authentic bride reclining seats. So this car is going to be something that I want to drift, but also something that I want to daily. So I've got the comfort level maximized in here with still having harnesses installed because I want to be able to be secure when I drift it. I had cars where I get tossed around all over the place because the seats were factory and the factory seat belt does not hold you in place. So I just got to put the other seat in and then put the harnesses in. My least favorite thing to do other than wiring is installing seat brackets and such, so I didn't even record it or anything like that. I had to do a bunch of holes, taking it off, putting it on, taking it off, putting it on, putting the loops on there, getting the proper bracket set. I haven't put my welding into practice yet, so I had to actually find nuts and bolts that fit everything. But today we're actually going to install something on the Vette. I've already got it measured out. I'll show you guys how I did that. This is TrackSpec Performance. This is their lubricant. Very well made, good design, nice, lightweight. Allows much better engine cooling. Gives you vents right out the hood. I positioned this all properly for what it called for. It was like, this was obviously supposed to be center, 13 inches away. And then this is 20 inches away with 6 and then 5 inches, something like that. It's all in the instructions, but anyways, I've got it measured out and centered. So we're gonna start cutting it and hopefully it comes out real good and will give me a lot better cooling. I actually also installed an oil cooler on this Vette. It was kind of a pain in the butt, but nothing too crazy. I had to just take the headers off and give myself clearance because of the long tube headers blocking me from being able to remove and install the factory oil cooler into an aftermarket oil cooler. So I actually mounted it right up front here. I'll see if I can get a shot of it for you guys. So this is a Mishimoto cooler, but I did not use their sandwich plate. Let's see if I have it here. This is a mess. I'm sorry. Well, wherever it went, it was a very thick piece. Here it is. Alright, so you can see how thick this is. They want you to mount this to the side first, and then this piece bolts on over it. And it just results in a very sloppy, thick design, and I had all sorts of issues getting it in there. And then once I did get it on, putting the headers back on was like, it wouldn't have cleared at all. It would have been sitting directly against the headers, and I would have had to dent the headers. I didn't want to do that. So I got an Earl's billet oil cooler, which is, it's literally less than half the width of this, and it's billet, so it's much more durable, much better made. And all the fittings are one piece as well, so you don't have to worry about leaks. So that came out really good. Very happy with the Earl's product. Mishimoto's hit or miss. I've been on and off of Mishimoto products depending on what I'm doing with them, and some of their stuff is good, some of their stuff is bad. In the Skyline, I've got their 2 Raceline fans, which is the big 12-inch fans, and those work very well, very high output. But then I have these fans that I took out and replaced, and these are garbage. These suck. I would not recommend them to anyone. They just don't work. So, beside the point. Do your research on Mishimoto stuff for your application. If you're gonna buy it, make sure it's something that is used across the board for your application and that it works well. So, let's get started on the Vette. I'm going to, it's all lined up, so I'm going to drill some holes in these corners here. to give myself some starting points and transition points, because we're going to be going across here, stopping, going across here, stopping, etc. Today I'm using an air tool. It is a reciprocating air saw. These are very, very useful for fiberglass. You can see how quickly that can cut. Those blades are specifically for fiberglass, so it should be very easy to cut through here. I'm going to cover up the engine a little bit, get it all secure, so that there's not fiberglass going everywhere in there and contaminating things, and then we'll get started. Let's go. Alright, so we've got our first hole cut. I'm very impressed with the results. That took me all of like, I don't know, a minute and a half. So I'm going to Dremel this down all the way. Just it's easier to cut more than it is to, you can't add more material. So I had a little mishap here, so I'm going to Dremel out here afterwards after I get all of them cut. But it's very, very clean. If you've ever worked with fiberglass before, this will save you a bunch of time. First time using the saw, I've never used it before, so very impressed with it. I like it a lot. And we're going to quickly get through these. Basically, I just drilled all these holes. The saw fits in one of the holes, and then you push it down to here. You get it into the hole all the way, let that sit, and it just cuts perfectly across. So these templates are nice. Props to them for making that. Can't wait for this. Let's get. Alright, so basically what I've done is taken these up and lined up the holes right where I want them. And then I just went ahead and put these marks where I want the rivets all around. And then I'm going to drill into that first, and then I'm going to kind of Dremel the edges on each side. Top and bottom is fine, completely hidden. It's just pretty much right here on the sides. My helper in the garage. She's having tape measuring races.
Dad, watch this.
Whoa! They went backwards. They went the other way. Go on the ground. Ready, set, go. Again. Alright, it's looking good. I didn't cut the cleanest lines in the world, but I smoothed them out and they're covered. Just gotta rivet everything back in place. And there should be no visible lines on the side or anything. So we'll do that now. Just gonna use a standard rivet gun. If you know how this works, basically takes the little rivet guys here and squeezes them to make a flat side on the other side. It's a permanent fixture essentially. So, and then you cut the end off with the gun. So here's the end result. I am very impressed with this kit. This is very sturdy, very heavy duty. These are nice powder coated aluminum. As you can see, I'm gonna get a lot more breathability out of the engine. Hot air is gonna rise right out of there now. It looks super aggressive. I dig it. I really like it. Looks really good. Yeah, I'm excited to see how it helps. I'm happy with it. Props to TrackSpec Motorsports. Okay. This is not a sponsored ad or anything like that. I bought that full retail price or whatever it was. Yeah, highly recommend it. I'll let you guys know how she does, but I mean, look at all that. Look at all that openness now. I was having to like sit there with my hood open and try and cool off in between laps and everything. That mixed with the oil cooler, which I just added, so it's gonna be hard to tell how much benefit I'm getting from one versus the other, but hopefully, I'm gonna test it out tomorrow actually, so hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to just hot lap all day long. That's my goal right now. The next thing is I need a much larger radiator because it still has the factory radiator in there. But I think once I do have that radiator in, it's gonna be just hot lap all day long, even in the Florida sun. Tomorrow should be pretty nice weather, still a little hot. It cooled off for a bit and then it warmed back up, so yeah. All right, digging how this is coming out. We've got the new Kansai wheels on there. These are a more aggressive spec. I'm gonna lift this up, I'm gonna show you guys. Previously, this is the angle that I was getting out of my FDF kit, and that is only because the wheels, I didn't have my new wheels yet, so the inside drum of the wheel was actually scraping against this upper arm at this angle. And if you can see from the bump stop, there was just a whole lot more room here. So that was all the angle I was getting out of it, and it was hitting, and it was like, it didn't feel good. So now I have that much more angle. That's substantial. That's like what would you call that? 7 degrees, something like that. A lot more angle out of it, and a little less finicky, and it'll be hitting bump stops as opposed to hitting the inside of the wheel where it's actually rotating against something, and it just felt like crap. I'd hit full lock and spin out and kind of scare me because, you know, you feel those parts moving against each other. So now it'll just be a bump stop that's not moving, stopping me, and it'll continue in that direction. Here is the oil cooler, and I've got my lines run all the way through here to the factory oil cooler location, and then this is that Earl's cooler I was talking about. I got a ton of clearance now. The Mishimoto wouldn't fit at all, and look at this, I've got almost an inch from the Earl's of room, and it's all one piece, so not as many seals to worry about. Yeah, so that's it for this video. Put the car back down, load it up, and then hit this private day tomorrow with BMR, Bill Mitchell Racing, and friends. We're gonna practice the clutch kickers layout that's coming up. So enjoy. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe, like, comment. Let me know what you think about this new kit on the hood. and I'll let you know how it performs. Thanks, guys.